breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to be. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. Sunday. What's up with Sunday? Why are we on a Sunday? Because we go live on the weekends when we have tropics, when we can. We actually announced it this time. Hopefully everybody saw it. And good morning if you're here. We got a lot to talk about. We'll try to make it simple, hype-free, and answer some questions along the way, and definitely at the end. But once I get rolling, we get rolling. Oh, the countdown. I forgot the countdown. I'm a one-man band here. Me and Louie are working solo today. So I hope you're having a great weekend. I was gone for a few days. We did a special live yesterday in the hotel lobby because everybody was asking. I don't even know how it turned out, but now we're back home in the studio here, and we got a lot to show you. Record-breaking Beryl. Hurricane hunters are out there right now. We're going to get into all that. We got that system in behind. We got to talk about. Beryl has a little sibling chasing him or her. I don't know. I'll never get into these names. I stopped doing that because it caused controversy. I don't really care. We'll just stick to the names. I usually mess up the names anyways. Half the time say them wrong. I'll never forget Issa Ia. It took me like the whole lifespan of Issa Ia to ever say it correctly. So, but anyway, this is our Daily Brew. Hey, listen, I'm Mike from Mike's Favorite Page. You might know me as the Nutshell guy on TikTok. That's my Nutshell hat. We are based in Tampa Bay, Oldsmar, Florida. I am not a meteorologist. If you're new, I'm just a self-taught meteorologist fan, and love my weather. Been streaming live since 2016. Been online since 2004. The website has, and we've had a lot of years together along the way. And we appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, are my longest sponsor here. 5 years now. They located here in our great state of Florida. It's a beautiful day out there, so hopefully you can swing by your local ABC and stock up. We appreciate all that they do for for me and my family for sure. Let's put the satellite on while we say hello. So this is Beryl. We're going to talk about Beryl first, and then we're going to talk about everything else. What's up, Greg Montgomery? How's it going on a Sunday, buddy? This is Beryl. This is incredible storm. Look at that. We got an eye. The hurricane hunters are finding it as a major 3 hurricane. Rapid intensification. It was 60 miles an hour yesterday, already up to 120. I think it's the next official, possibly 115 now, but I think it might be bumped to 120. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. We're going to get into some whys and why nots and how this even happened. Obviously, I think everybody probably knows it's coming down to that hot water that we've been worried about all season long. It'll be interesting to watch the system come in behind if I don't make notice of it now, but we'll see if there's any upwelling after Beryl. I'm really curious on the water temperature charts here the next week. So anyway, let's talk about it. I'm going to say hi to everybody. What's up, Bill? What's up, Travis? Randy? Yeah, it's going to be close, buddy, down there in Tobago. Maybe a little to your north. Maybe, I don't know, man. It looks like it's tracking a little south of north. They're going to bounce around. That's what these storms do. They wobble. They always ride that high pressure to the north and try to find a weakness. Good morning, Miss Christie over there. What's up, Michael Taylor? Good morning. Cher from St. Pete. Good morning. What's going on? What's up, Mr. Richard Drago? How's it been up there, buddy? Ash May, 3 years. Awesome. I'm trying to fix a button here real quick. Hang in there with me. Hang in there. I'm going to close that pinned comment there, Shelly, because I can't really read everything. Lori, hey, from Bermuda. You're pushing things west there, Lori. Katie wants to know if you can drink mimosas. I don't know. I can't be doing that, man. Greg, yeah, what's up, buddy? My Furman power generator, man. So what do you think, everybody? We're going into it. We got some folks chiming in. I know from the Caribbean, I get a lot of why are you talking about it so much? Well, we have a lot of followers down in the Caribbean, lots of them. They chime in all the time, and there's people on these little islands down there that are watching right now. Hopefully they're preparing, but it does look like it's going a little bit to the west, a little more. We're going to have to track it. Big storms kind of have a mind of their own sometimes, and they don't always ride that center line. That's the one thing we've been learning over the years. It's hard to focus on that center line. They're going to wiggle and wobble in that cone. So we're going to talk about it. So let me put down Beryl. Let me put down Louie. Laura. All right, so we're going to get right into the tropics. I usually talk more, but I know people are probably anxious to get going. Yeah, see, look at that. We got Steffi from Trinidad and Tobago now. We got Monica from the Yucatan. Gentry right down the road. So, all right, we'll get into it. So this is the current satellite. I got a bunch of maps and stuff up we're going to get into. Remember, when you stick around in the end, we'll chit-chat a lot more, okay? I get rolling. I want to make sure we just stay focused. So there you go. It's a major monster hurricane, and very rare, very, very rare. Once in a lifetime, maybe. I don't know. This has never happened before this far east. With these water temperatures. But there you go. That's what we got. Let's take a look at the whole picture here. Weathernerds.org. So we got a little, we're going to talk at the end a little bit. Invest 94 in the Bayo Sea over here, lower Gulf. Going to hit Mexico. Might have a little window to be a tropical depression. This is the area behind. It's unbelievable. We picked up on it last week. They've invested it. It's Invest 96 now. Chances are up on this. We already got spaghetti models on it. I'm going to show you, but it's pretty much following Beryl for at least the next week. It's crazy. And of course, here's Beryl right now. Very ominous. It was a small storm. It still is small, but it is expanding a little bit. We're going to show you that, how it's kind of getting bigger. It's riding some fast upper level winds, and it's moving very strongly west-northwest. Here's the latest National Hurricane Center from this morning, 8 o'clock. These get posted at Eastern, 8 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and shows you the areas of interest plus any current storms. So this is the red area we're going to get into a lot after Beryl. This is Invest 96 coming in behind. Hot and heavy. And we already showed you this. This is another way to look at it. We'll go ahead and pass that here. Now, here's the hurricane hunters. These are out there right now. These are on Tropical Tidbits, finding unbelievable winds right now. So this thing is rapidly intensifying. It's definitely one under our eye. That's a 24 millibar pressure drop in 24 hours, and winds were 60 miles an hour yesterday. Now maybe 120. That's a double in speed in one day in June. I mean, I am not going to hype nothing, but I'm a little worried now about peak season, to tell you the truth. Once we start seeing the full effects of La Nina with lighter wind shear, if, these waters are hot, and if, this could be a sign of what everybody was concerned about, comparing it to years like 2005 and 2020. I hope not, but it's June. Everybody wants to know their individual impacts. That's cool. But we're going to go through all the models here, and you can kind of see where things are going. As the days go on, confidence is less and less and less. What I like to do is show you trends, all the runs, anything that we're seeing trend-wise. The only thing so far that's been tricky on this one is a possible turn at the end in the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit more northwest, maybe even a little more north. So we're going to show you that, and that's been showing up a lot. That front that's coming down Monday is going to actually bump it up a little bit north, and then that high builds back in. But how long does that high stay? So we'll see. But anyway, I got a link to this on the website. I also have a link to this on my app. If you want to follow along on the Recon Hurricane Hunters are out there right now. Here's the latest track at 8. There's a new track at 11. They update intermediate advisories, update positions and winds and watches and warnings, but the track gets updated at 11 and 5 Eastern. Okay, so the next track update won't be for another hour or so. But we got a major hurricane. Expected to be a major hurricane for the islands. I got a little more zoomed in to show you which islands are going to be affected more. It's going to be a major all the way on its approach to Jamaica. We've seen a little track adjustments to the south a little bit. Caymans are still on that edge in the cone, and unfortunately the Yucatan, I stress this so much, it is going to weaken, but the stronger it gets now means the stronger it's going to be when it weakens. And now you're seeing this in the 5-day wind forecast from the National Hurricane Center. I think they're showing 100 mile an hour now on day number 5. So even if it weakens, remember, we hate saying downgrade. Okay, downgrade. It's not a good thing. And then what happens if it plops through the Yucatan over here in the Gulf? We're going to talk about that. But definitely, anybody in this eye. And if we got anybody new in the tropics, this is a great reminder right now to talk about this a lot. That the cone that you're looking at is just where the center of the storm is expected to pass, okay? Storms that are large will be way outside the cone. Way outside the cone. So this is not the area that's going to feel the effects. This is just the center of the storm. A big storm could actually, wrap around like that. We've seen storms that have actually been like that. Irma came in right here. We had more stuff going on the big bend area up there. Or I don't know if they call that the Big Bend. The Big Bend's on the other side. What do they call that? The Little Bend? Like the Big Dipper, Little Dipper? Well, anyway. All eyes were on Irma down south, and we were seeing effects way up into Georgia from the size. So just, remember that. This is a smaller system right now. So that's the only good news is that it's small. The hurricane winds are tight. Smaller systems can ramp up fast, which we're seeing, and smaller systems can also ramp down fast. And that could happen, maybe. They can come back fast. We talked about it last week. Cape Verde seeds, when they come off of Africa, I've noticed over the years, when they already have spin, which we detected way south of the islands last week, when they already have spin, man, they're tough little ones, man. They figure out ways, and they stay strong. So that's, unfortunately, this little guy's proven that correct. Here's a zoomed in look at the current cone. Now these green and yellow lines, that's Invest 96, already getting some spaghetti models. So we're going to disregard that for now. That's Invest 96. Kind of following the same path. But there are your islands. And, unfortunately, not the green and yellow. But there's your main spaghetti lines. So I'm sure some of y'all are down there. Some people know that area. Probably some people travel that area. Remember, the center is going to pack the most amount of winds, in this storm particularly, and that's where it's going. So we got people in the Virgin Islands that are way south. Puerto Rico looks like it's going to stay south. I would still be watching very close to Hispaniola, but this is a good site. Google radar, and you can see this little bump. See this? This was the 5 a.m. Advisory, and the track was supposed to continue on, and this 8 a.m. fix here is a little lower than what was projected. So it did indeed bump south a little bit, and that's huge effects for the islands. In fact, my buddy Brandon is there right now, weatherchasing.com, and we were talking last night on the telephone, and he's down there. Let me text him real quick, because he might not have internet, but he's a good friend of mine. We started out rocky during Dorian, and now we're pretty good friends. So and anyway, that's where we're at. Let's talk about some more stuff. So down the road, it's expected to be a 3, and nearing Jamaica as a 3. The trends have been a little tick to the south, and just trends are your friends. Doesn't mean anything in the long run as much. This is what we're going to be talking about. This little turn. All right. Even with the official forecast of a downgraded hurricane, they're still looking at it. Category 2, and that would be July the 5th, 2 a.m. So basically July the 4th. Unfortunately, hey, listen, if you got anybody that was going to Cancun or the Yucatan on the 4th of July, it's going to be approaching fast. So you're going to want to pay attention. And any bump south, obviously, our friends in Belize are watching closely. So that would be on basically July 4th, July 5th this week. There you go. All right, what else can we look at? So here's your wind field. These links I have all on my website, spaghettymodels.com or mikesweatherpage.com. This yellow. Remember when we were looking at Alberto? Alberto was like this. That was a tropical storm force winds. This is a tight little system. Remember, tight little systems wrap up quick, and this has proven that again. So there's your tropical storm force winds. I mean, they have hurricane warnings up, but as of now, the actual hurricane force winds you can't even see. The dot is the size of the wind field. So the only good news, like I said, is the big, strong winds and these bigger hurricanes, speed-wise hurricanes, are going to really be tight. Kind of like Charlie was. Charlie was a tight little storm. What it does down the road, though, we got to watch. If it loses some strength and it widens. All right, so there's that. There's your timing. I got this link on my website, too. This is probably when you're going to start feeling tropical storm force winds, and the islands will start feeling them overnight tonight. Barbados late tonight, and then everybody else early morning. Start to feel tropical storm force winds in Hispaniola as early as Tuesday if it goes any farther north. Jamaica possibly late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Caymans would be Wednesday night, evening, Wednesday afternoon. And then, like I mentioned, tropical storm force winds July 4th on Thursday, even though the storm wouldn't be there until quite a bit later. So remember, you can't focus on that eye. It's always out ahead of it when you start feeling the bands. So you might see, it's going to be hitting here at 2 a.m., but it's the bands out ahead when you might start feeling tropical storm force winds. So that's a good graphic. And look how close the winds are to the Keys. So, man, it is so close, but yet so far. All right, this is the important thing we want to talk about. TropicalTidbits.com. This is spaghetti models. And I'm going to answer probably all your questions. Bridget, Google Fox Mike's weather page, and you'll see a great article where they headline that. That was a headline that said, "Neighbors helping neighbors." So there's that. We're going to talk about the storm after this one next, I promise. All right, so here's the latest spaghetti models on Beryl. Pretty good confidence this thing's going west-northwest. There's a high pressure to the north that's steering it. It's accelerating it pretty fast right now, actually. The high pressure spin clockwise like this, and they actually help accelerate a system. But then this high, if it gets weak and goes away, there's this chance that we've been talking about all along, and the models are now showing it, that this thing could slow down and react to this high being moved to the east a little more. Maybe move up a little more into the Gulf. Just something to think about. There's no official forecast that far out yet. Or, you know, we always say trends are your friends, meaning you can learn a lot by trends. And the trends on the main operational runs here are kind of showing that possible turn. And believe it or not, we got people that live in Texas. I know if you live in Florida, you're like, why do you care? The only thing I wish I could change on social media is everybody sometimes a little tunnel vision on where they live, and they forget that I'm covering everybody, you know. And it's cool. I get it. I'm just saying, it's important to talk about, you know. All right, so that's the trend on that. Now, you know, expected to be 100 miles an hour near in the Yucatan. Going to cross land. But if it slows down, could have a day or two over these warm Gulf waters. And if it has that seed planted, that Cape Verde seed we talk about, I've seen them come back quick. What I'm going to talk about with this Cape Verde seed is this. All right, this has been what, you know, my longtime followers, they know I talk about this a lot. Here's Invest 94. Finally getting a little circulation down here. It never had any to begin with at all. It's trying, and the curvature of this land helps a lot. This whole land-air interaction. That's why that one might become a tropical depression. But this little guy has got tremendous circulation, and it's had this tight circulation all along. And we'll watch this, and we're starting to get this little bump in Invest 96 here, where it's starting to show a little bit of sign, but it's not closed off yet. And Beryl had a closed off low from the get-go, and it had a lot less wind shear going along with it. So that's what that looks like. All right, so there's your latest spaghetti models. Pretty good confidence this thing's riding west-northwest. Here's your intensity models. So intensity models were completely correct. You know, you all know I love the H-Wharf. The H-Wharf is wrong, like every other model, but the H-Wharf is right a lot. Operational runs were terrible. They none of them predicted this to happen. Luckily, the operational run, or the Hurricane Haas and H-Mon and H-Wharf kind of did predict it, which is, we need that. We don't need another Otis where something pops up with no model support. All right, so how high it goes, no one knows. I mean, come on, this thing is crazy, right? This is unbelievable. Can't believe we're watching this in June, early July. So in 5 days, you know, we're starting to see these things level out. All right, and unfortunately, you know, we got to think about, okay, what happens after the Yucatan. So, some of these are showing maybe a little bit of bounce back. All right, here are your latest European ensembles. All right, a couple things that has changed a lot in these ensembles. These are on weathernerds.org, and this color right here is what we've been talking a lot about. Red is obviously stronger winds. Well, a couple days ago, the red was about here, and then we had a lot of blues here, showing a lot of weakness. Well, it's not showing that anymore. So the euro, again, you look for trends, and the trends have been stronger, deeper, and we're seeing that now in the euro. Less weakening as originally thought. Shear forecast long range are so hard. I've talked about it for the last 5 years. It's impossible. Shear changes so fast. So the talking point was this thing was going to probably get, tore apart, but it's not yet. But the other thing the euro is starting to show is this little bend to the north. And this is that weakness that we're starting to see. Euro's still the farthest south, but we're seeing a little trend with the euro to the north. And this would be, passing more maybe in this general area. So that's kind of what we're going to look at. The next 12Z run on the euro is what will be really interesting this afternoon about 2-3 o'clock. We'll see if there's any trend bumpward to the north. And I have these on the site. All these links directly go to Tropical Tidbits and Weather Nerds. And a huge thanks. So Matt, the guy that runs Weather Nerds, put up a static image that I could use. So they automatically refresh. So if you want to see the ensembles this year, they're there. We didn't have those last year. So thank you, Matt. And of course, he appreciates all your support too that goes to his site. Now the GFS ensembles are here, kind of showing you this little bend. That's all we're really talking about. Now these outliers, I'm more worried about the outliers in the short term, maybe a little more impacts to Hispaniola. I know people that I know are going to DR. A lot of people cruising in Jamaica. So this is the short term. How far north does this thing lift, and does it turn at the end? This is the big question mark at this point. Unfortunately, is for the upper Western Gulf, and that's been a talking point all year so far for me. Is upper Gulf, Western Gulf. This is a cool website here it's from a gentleman named Tomer Berg, and it is really cool. We've used his stuff a lot over the years. This is a plot that puts together all the Euro, GFS, UK, and Canadian ensembles together, and it kind of shows you how they stay very consistent in the short term, just south of Hispaniola. It kind of colors them in the percentage range to where there's confidence. And obviously you see a fanning out at the end, which you always do. But we look for trends, and right now the euro is a red. It's trending farther south than the mean of all of them. But not to say, the people that said the U.S. will not be affected, I saved those screenshots. Anyway, this is something to keep an eye on. Well, the next 11 o'clock advisory, the good thing about the NHC, so when 11 o'clock advisory comes out, it's going to actually go deeper, and we'll start to see what they think, and we can start reading their discussions. So when the 5 o'clock advisory comes out, or 11 o'clock, we'll have this cone now extend somewhere, and we'll see what it looks like. We'll see if they start to show a little bend or not. I suspect they might show a little bend here, starting to show a little bit. So, all right, there's that one. I know we got the other system everybody wants to talk about, but this is, just more confidence that it's too early to say anything's guaranteed once this thing crosses the Yucatan. Those waters in the Gulf are hot. All right, so why did this happen? Well, here's a shear forecast. Current shear is showing very light wind shear. A couple days ago, it didn't. So, shear changes fast, but it's in a very favorable environment right now. The MJO, I was looking at so many different versions of the MJO, and we're really in a very suppressed velocity stage. Typically, this wouldn't happen. But the one thing that we keep going back to more than anything, I'll show you here in a second, this is the dust map. This thing was riding all that dust. We talked about the dust. Even me talking about the dust. We did say last week this thing might end up in a little window of a big plume behind and below, but it stayed south. And what's fascinating, here it is right here. If you rewind it a little bit, let's go back a few days. This is where it was at a couple days ago. I mean, usually, I'm telling you, I got a screen of Florence. I share when I do these hurricane presentations. Florence should have recurved. Everybody talked about Florence recurving when it came off of Africa, and it kept running into highs. It went right through this dust. It was in 77 degrees water, and it turned into a Cat 4. I mean, that's why you got so many variables in these storms, and it's just fascinating. That's why it's always interesting to watch, because things sometimes really tricky. There's no guarantees. But here was that dust, and it didn't ingest any. There's dry air trying to get in it, and it just never found a way. And here's our new little system coming in, low rider. The only thing I can think of is these are coming off a little bit lower than normal. And it's, last year they were exiting Africa a little more to the north, and they were kind of running more into that. So it's kind of made its own little moisture field. And there's our new system, which is looking kind of juicy. But there's the MJO that should be favorable. This is the one graphic, though, that we share a lot. Water temperatures obviously mean a lot. And, we had a storm last year called Hurricane Lee that formed in the open Atlantic, and it was like one of the fastest growing, rapidly intensifying hurricanes ever on record last year, but it didn't hit anybody, so nobody cared about it. But it was feeding off those warm waters. The warm waters last year were this big line right here. Well, this year's waters have been even warmer than last year's waters. And this water temperature right now currently is what we normally see at the first part of September. So if you want to, why did this happen? That's a big reason right there. For sure. Why is my Twitter open? I don't have anything there. All right, so let's talk about a couple things. Let's look at, so the area coming in behind has been fascinating. It's called Invest 96. We're starting to get spaghetti models on that one. These are on tropical tidbits. Let's show you the first run of spaghetti models. We don't have operational runs yet. Oh, we do. We have one. All right. Hey, it's happening fast. All right. So this is the system behind Beryl, and it's probably 3 days behind. And look where it's going. Like, are you kidding me? Almost the exact same spot. Crazy. So we'll get into that here in a second. I need coffee. Anybody else need coffee? Let's take a coffee break. We should have commercial interruptions for coffee. Cheers to coffee. Shelly, can we find that clip from like 2 weeks ago when I said I was going to go camping July 4th? And everybody said, okay, that means we're going to have something to talk about July 4th. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, couple of my big supporters real quick that give awesome discounts. Let me throw them out there. I want to make sure I give them credit. Direct Remodels in Florida, 40% off. Hurricane Windows, great friends of mine. John and Dan, we partied. We had dinner together a few times. So if you live in the corridor of I-4 and looking for windows, they're the best. And then also my good buddy Greg Montgomery's watching from Furman Power Equipment, giving everybody a 30% off discount for generators and free shipping. So I know most of our MWPs have them, but I get asked every other day, where's the link at? The link's up there. The link's right here. So there you go. All right. Invest 96. Interestingly enough, I didn't think we had spaghetti models, but there they are. So unfortunately, we're going to be tracking this one next, and at the same time as Beryl. And for our island friends, this one's going to be a headache because it could be BOGO trouble right there coming in from behind. Some of the latest spaghetti models on the ensembles that are coming in. Here are your latest GFS ensembles. Showing a little more uptick. Now, they're not showing intensity yet. Remember, we talk about this. The only thing that's going to be interesting to watch more than anything for me is this upwelling of the cold water. We've seen it over the years. There was Storm Jose and Maria, was it? Am I correct? You history buffs, Maria and Jose. But if the water cools down, maybe this new 96 won't form as much. But if it stays a little to the north, there's going to be warm water. But this is the general thinking so far. A little more pull to the north. Your Canadian ensembles are... Was that Canadian? That was GFS. Here's your Canadian ensembles. All right. I do have some more ensembles. Now, here is your first intensity models that are just coming out. And it's, it's keeping it kind of weak. I'm not convinced of that yet because we've seen operational runs showing a stronger... This is where the operational runs don't do very well with intensity. There was a lot of runs yesterday and on Thursday and Friday that showed this system 96 stronger than Beryl. But we know Beryl's very, very, very strong. So we're going to have to watch this one close. Let's see what it looks like on the operational models. So we'll go to Tropical Tidbits and see. All right, so again, this little guy here, Invest 94. There was some models of look at this high pressure. Oranges are high pressure. So we got a pretty darn strong high pressure right now. And this is going to help steer this pretty much into Mexico. We're going to see a front come down. Maybe a little weakness here that's going to go over here, and it's going to allow this maybe to lift. But then we're going to see high come in and bring it back this way. But then does this thing retreat and allow Beryl to go a little more northwest and our new system even more north? That's what we're going to be watching right now on Name That Model. All right, GFS hasn't done too bad this year. I will give credit where credit's due. So we're going to show it. Okay, so GFS going a little more to the north, getting very close to Hispaniola, but staying to the south. This is on Tuesday night, this week coming up. Tuesday night. There's our new system coming in. And it's developing it. Could be a hurricane by now. GFS getting mighty close to Jamaica. This is Wednesday morning. Almost barely two and a half days behind, which is unbelievable. Who would have thought you could have almost the exact same storm coming in behind just 2 to 3 days after? Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. 985. It's intensifying it. This would be Wednesday this week. All right. Caymans, GFS. Gary, if you're watching, made a good move, buddy. It's developing it more than it showed development for Beryl. So this is 96. And this is where the confusion's coming in with 96. This is Beryl. Everybody, it's pretty much safe to say this thing's going to the Yucatan around the 4th. Now, what happens after that? Well, here's 96 getting awfully close to Jamaica. Here's what we're going to be watching is next week. When we get these 3-day tropical storms that turn into majors, it's 3 days of tracking. This is next Saturday. And this is what it looks like. Now, see, this is what's got my concern a little bit. Telling you, I hope I'm not right. You know, Cape Verde seed. Yucatan isn't very mountainous. Watch what the GFS does. 1,002, 997. So, you know, there's going to be a little window for this thing to try to redevelop. If it slows down, it's going to have more time. Time is an enemy of storms, but a day or two over the warm lower Gulf waters could be something to watch. This would be Saturday next week, and of course the GFS pulling a little more north and possibly into Texas. That's the main operational run. Now watch the other system. There's that weakness. See the high pressure moving on out? And whatever that system is has a little more window, possibly going a little more north. And it actually turns it back to Texas. So do two storms follow the exact same track? I mean, maybe it does in 2024. I don't know, but we've kind of seen that with these invests in Alberta. But that's the latest. All right, we're going to fast forward to a bunch of these GFS runs just to kind of show you how things have been consistent or not consistent. Here's OZ hour, which is pretty good modeling. Strong system, a little more pull to the north. This is what the GFS has done a few times. Now Texas again on Beryl. But a couple of these runs, it pulled it north. Like that. See that high pressure? A lot weaker. Pulled it north. So there is a weakening system here that's showing that we could see the system behind Beryl be a little more apt to go north. 18Z yesterday showed the same thing. 18Z showed a 965 hurricane into Texas. Timing would be next Sunday. Okay? If that were to happen. So that's enough of the GFS. So we see the swing on the 96. All right, so other models. Now the Euro is showing the opposite. The Euro is showing our system staying low and basically into Mexico. That would be Sunday. If the 2 o'clock run of the Euro comes out and we see a bump north, then we got to be concerned about this trend and change of thinking next weekend. So if you're in Texas, all eyes are on the Euro at 2 o'clock because we're already seeing the GFS, the Canadian, I'm going to show you, and the Icon are showing a little tug to the north for next weekend. So all eyes, in my opinion, are going to be on the Euro at 2 o'clock. And the ensembles. And look what it does to the system behind it. It just fizzles it out. So kind of odd. Euro doesn't do a very good job with formation. Yesterday's 12Z on the Euro really didn't do much with 96. Kept it right behind it, and it was smack dab almost in the same spot. So I'm watching for trends. This is the area right behind. So if anything, the latest GFS and the latest Euros are doing is whatever's behind is kind of following the same thing. But whatever lifts, in my opinion, 90 or Beryl up is going to allow this to lift a little bit more. So anyway, that's what that is. Again, the timing for the islands on our second system is only going to be a few days after, maybe 2 days after you'll start feeling the effects again of a new system. Canadian model, which is not bad at all, showing you this. New system coming in. Here it is on Wednesday. Canadians, this is Beryl. Canadians going way north. Split difference. And it's actually keeping the new system to the south. So interesting. Yesterday's 12Z. Kept Beryl, and then the new system. So you kind of get the idea. So things we're watching. Beryl is having a tendency to go a little more north after the Yucatan, and the new system it's just kind of one to watch. It's just got a little bit more unknowns as far as track goes yet. Hasn't even developed yet. This is the second system. This is 96. That's what the Canadian was showing. Icon hasn't done me too good this year, but this is what it's showing. There's our Beryl. Here's a new system, and there's Beryl. So Icon's going a little more north, and it kind of crashes the new system down into Mexico or the central Belize there. So pretty damn strong though. So you got the Canadian, you got the Icon, and you got the GFS pulling Beryl a little more to the north. And this is strong. This is 969. That's not good. So definitely we want to keep an eye on that. Here 982, and then 989, and then it develops it into that Gulf a little bit. So yesterday's 12Z run on the Icon. And remember, these things aren't being initialized correctly either. There's yesterday's 12Z run, and here's our new system down there. So it's interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Now, some of your hurricane-specific models, let's look at the H-Wharf parent, because we'll see both of these come in the picture. Let's see. When they initialize, they're not probably initializing correct. Now, the H-Wharf might. Let's see what time stamp are we here? 0. Where's 0 at? 950. They might have initialized correctly. Problem with these global models is like the Euro, the last run of the Euro initialized at 995. That was the 6Z run. So it initialized at 997 pressure. That's when the models start running. And actually currently the pressure is, let me see here. Pressure is 968. Holy crap, that's so much difference. So that data is going to be fed into the model, runs hopefully by 12Z. Hopefully, but man, what a difference these models are going to make. Because right now they're initialized at 997, 30 millibars off. That could change things. That could change the thinking down the road. Euro's thinking a weak system. Weaker systems tend to just drift west. If this is not weak, guess what? The Euro's going to pull a fast one on everybody, and it's going to go north. So if you're in Texas, I'm telling you, I would not be turning your back on this thing coming in next weekend. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see, H-Wharf parent. Let's go check it out. Let's see what it shows in the one behind. This is what the H-Wharf. H-Wharf is not a very good tracking model, but it's got 988. It's kind of, they're 987. So that stops right there. So, I mean, there's high confidence that Yucatan, unfortunately, is going to get something the end of this week, Thursday-ish. July 4th. So Yucatan, July 4th. And then the system coming in behind is already showing up 987 pressure. Haas A is a good model from the US here. Let's see what it's showing. 971. And see that little tug to the north, even though. So bottom line on this is 975, 989, 970. And then the Hoffs B showing that lift that the GFS was showing a couple runs. So, yeah, I don't know what else we can say about anything right now other than that's kind of what's cooking. Let's go check out the Korean model. KMA did a really good job last year, and it did a really good job on Beryl this year. So we'll take a look at the KMA. It's a Korean model. Let's see what it's looking like here, and we'll just keep it right here. Pressure, and it's keeping it down in Mexico. So that's like the Euro. Not showing any development on the second system. Interesting. The UK. So the UK fizzles it. This is where the models are tricky. UK showing 1,002 millibar systems, so it's going to pretty much say it's done. But if it's if it's still strong, then it's going to do its own thing. And we're looking at high pressures. I mean, here's the steering currents next Friday. There's a low pressure coming down, so this is the key. So this low pressure here that we're seeing at the end of next week, depending on how strong this trough is next week, was going to determine on how strong the high pressure is. So that's kind of what the talking points are going to be. This low that's all the way up there in Michigan and Wisconsin is going to control what the hell's going on down here, which is so weird. Who would have thought Minnesota and Wisconsin are in control of the hurricane season? This is the truth. All right. Well, anyway, for sure, I know we got people down in the islands. This is a serious situation. Very tight core, unfortunately. Good news and bad news is it's less people will be affected, but whoever does is going to be very bad. And there could be another system coming in right behind, almost the same path, maybe a little more to the north. Anyway, GFS is showing a little bit more weakness here, allowing these systems to pull north. So that's kind of what's going on. So we look at ensembles at this point in the game. So ensembles are here. We'll have a new run of the 12Z GFS here in a little, or the Euro, but here's even the 6Z. These just came out not too long ago. This is a brand new run of the 6Z. They only go out 90 hours, so we don't see the 10-day ones yet. But the Euro 6Z starting to show this little bend to the north. This is what we're going to really watch here come this afternoon. And honestly, if this thing stays a little to the north, it's going to shoot that gap, and that's trouble. I'm not going to... You can call me hype or what, but if this thing clips Yucatan or shoots that gap, it could be trouble for somebody in the upper Western Gulf. And remember, a system doesn't have to, if it, system does that, we still have a lot of effects on both, on the right side. So it's definitely going to be something to watch the following weekend. Now, if Euro's correct, it's staying down here. So, so for you European fans, but I'm really thinking, from everything that I've learned over the years, what are you looking at, Hunter? You're so cute. Hey, look who made the cover of our magazine. Did you ever dream that this ugly mug would be a cover model? They dumped those off while we were gone. So thank you, Valerie, if you're watching. I'm going to give one to Mom and Dad here this morning. I'm going to head over there and drink some coffee. But the Euro being initialized at 997, it's going to change its thinking down the road. Because right now it's 30 millibars off. I know it doesn't change what upper air patterns are, but it definitely could change things. But it's still showing a pretty strong going into Mexico, 977. So, like I said, the turn more north will definitely become more real after the 12 o'clock models, but seeing a little trend to the north that we might have to worry about. But in the short term, obviously, the islands, huge. And I think I've covered I think I've covered everything. So remember the website. I got hopefully everything on here you could possibly want. I added microwave imagery. This is a really cool one. This is what a lot of big dogs use to determine the eye wall core, the structure. So this is what it looks like. This is something you normally don't see until September. I mean, this is as bad as intense of a hurricane you'll ever see in peak season right now with that core. I got the Dvorak numbers here. I know I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how I say it. There's your Dvorak numbers with current pressures, etc., etc. Have some really cool stuff here too. I added this link, track on Zoom. If you track on Zoom here, Hunter, you're so cute. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. You're just looking right at me. Come here. So Zoom is really cool. Let me go get Hunter because he's just looking right at me. Hang on a second. Come here, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, my boy. So we tried something different. We had a big softball tournament this weekend, and we actually had Emily's friend watch the dogs, so that's why they're home. Normally we have to wait till Monday, and it's awful to come home on Sunday. They were two and done yesterday, so we weren't supposed to even be home today. We were supposed to be home today. We still paid for the hotel last night, but I'm like, let's go home. I can do the live in the morning. We just said heck with it. The room's paid for, but we got home. And that way the dogs are home too. We don't have to wait to pick you up tomorrow, buddy. You're such a good boy. The Zoom Earth is an amazing website. You can do so much on this one. You can click it from all your radars once they start popping in the pictures, your different satellites. You can see the latest National Hurricane Center plots. Expected to be a Category 4 hurricane. 130 miles an hour. We'll see if that gets even bumped up more. Hopefully not. Some other links that I got are pretty cool. I got the satellite page. Storm Products page is a good one. I know Joe was asking. This one here, you can actually see the track. You can zoom in 1 km, 2 km. You can really zoom in on it. You can see current water temperatures. You can see it's going to get into hotter water ahead. You can look at ocean heat content ahead. Hunter's watching too. He's looking right at the screen. You can look at all kinds of stuff. Water vapor loops and whatnot. It's a good link. Wind analysis is a cool link. It's kind of a satellite-derived imagery of the winds, but you can really get a zoomed-in look at where the winds are. For you latitude and longitude lovers. Obviously the winds are on the north side, the strong winds. Some of these winds are being driven by the strong winds to the north too. Am I boring you too? Why do you guys yawn every time I talk to you? So the winds are definitely stronger on the north side currently. The big winds. Oh, let's see. Guidance is a good page. This one's got all kinds of links. Oh my God, you can spend all day on this site. This one's got ensemble plots, where it's at, where it thinks it's going. It compares all the runs, which is really cool. I like this one because it shows you the last 5 or 6 runs and kind of gives you a trend of what's going on. You can do that with all these Euros, the last 48 hours, 72 hours, kind of give you, I know it's a lot of, this has got a lot of consistency at least, but there's your trends, and here's what, so this is a cool one. You're doing a good job, buddy. You're a good boy. You believe this guy's 4 years old? I believe we have the smallest Frenchie on the planet. He's not even 10 pounds. Are you? So this is awesome. This is a gentleman named Brian Tang, University of Albany. I love this map. I kind of forgot about it. There's so many things you can look at. I wake up in the morning sometimes and I'm like, what am I going to look at? What am I going to post? How do you digest all this stuff? Like, what do people want to know? I like this one though, because this one's showing you a trend. And I know it's hard a little bit with the colors, but just kind of tells you where we're at. Obviously, the latest is a little more trend to the north. We've seen a bump, though, the last couple runs to the north. The UK? Yeah, so the UK's been doing the old Euro camp. So I guess the only thing that's different is the UK showed it going way south, and now it's a little more to the north. The H-Wharf trends don't go out that far. It actually went south a little bit. So Jamaica's definitely splitting gaps there. Haas, probably a little better model for tracking. and it's kind of been consistent, maybe a little tick south, back a little bit north. The consensus models are good. This one's kind of the TVCN line. Yep, TVCN. TVCN is your TVC. TVCN is not on Spectrum. It's your consensus models. Kind of puts them all together. But this is that little weird slow down and turn maybe that we got to worry about a little bit. So there you go. That's a cool site. That's right there. Link guidance. There's tropical tidbits goodies. There's weather nerds goodies. Graphics and guidance is the other one that we use a lot. This is the one where you can see all kinds of cool stuff on here. This is Tomerberg site. You can just get lost on this page and look at all kinds of stuff. History, recon data, incredible. I mean, just unbelievable amount of data on here. Ensembles, cool stuff. So, all right, there's that. Weather today, I want to talk about this 2 seconds. We got to worry about storms today on the East Coast. I hate not talking about that, but everybody wants to know about tropics. But we got some big weather coming up north. Not so much tornado, just mainly winds. But that's a large area enhanced today, and a lot of yellow today. So that's happening Sunday. And then tomorrow, some of these storms are going to make their way to the coastline. This is that front line that's coming down tomorrow. So watch for that. I know it's hot out there, but we got another hazardous heat going into the July 4th week. It's going to be hot. Summer, right? I know. No more of that for a while. I'll hype the heat when I don't have anything else to hype. How about that? There you go. All right. There's Invest 94. This is the new, or not the new one. This is the VOC spot. 96. I don't have it linked yet. I'm going to add it. Well, there's 96 spaghetti models. I guess I'll add. I just don't like this column going so far down. There was a time when we were doing tropics on my webpage, we would only have one storm at a time. And I'll never forget the first time we had two storms. And I was like, oh my God, I got to add two storms. And by the way, I updated the app today. The app's got the graphics on there. So let me double check. But yeah, there it is. So there's my app. A lot of folks use it. Appreciate it. Invest 96. This is what it looks like right now. A glob. But it's updated at least. So we got three storms we're tracking. 94, 96, and Beryl. Crazy. All right, I'm going to read comments now. Brandy, cool, you got my notification. I do send notifications. I'm glad it worked. That's me doing that. I don't know when to send them. I don't want to wake anybody up, but I do send out notifications. See? And I know I charge money for it. The website's free on there. You don't have to download it. You can always download it and just look at the website and watch the Daily Brew. But, man, apps are not cheap. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. They cost a lot of money. Everybody gets something. Oh, pouring down in Houston or Key West it is. You need an app to Turo. Just click buttons, Cali Cat. Ooh, Karen, let me know. Email me, please. Or message me on Brew Crew, Karen. We had an Apple update. Thank goodness it got done in time. But it was a major update to the new iOS platform that they needed to do. And it logged a lot of folks off. And then a lot of folks didn't know their password. So I've been working with, I think I got everybody taken care of. You know, it was a little stressful this week. I will admit I was really in between softball games. Thank goodness we drove Julie's car. She's got a Tesla. And I was, thank you, Elon, because I was using the screen. I had my laptop out. Tesla internet was working, mine wasn't, so man, I was able to go on there and at least help people out and get it reactivated. But Karen, email me, okay? It's usually a password problem. So yeah, Stephanie, same thing. No camping ever again, Chad. I need to find that clip, Shelly. I want to know what day we said that. It had to be 2 weeks ago or like Derek's going to the Dominican July 9th. Man, it's you know, it's close. Modeling isn't really good yet to know, but I think it's going to be past your way at least. So I think it'll be all right. I really do. I really don't think the 9th, unless you're flying in early, but by the 9th it should be gone. Hurricane hunters are in the storm. I think Johnny Weaver, I think there's 2 missions going on right now. I do have a link to that on Tropical Tidbits. There's a lot of people who do it. Like I said, we support Levi a ton. Here's his recon page. We have two going on. We have a NOAA mission and an Air Force mission. They're just taking off. So we have 2 missions going on. One's current. They're out there right now. And you can see the airplane right here. They're doing their little zigzag patterns out there. So they're measuring humidity and dry air. And one good site here, if I go back to products page, if you go to Storm Products, I like this one. I like to zoom out on the 8km and look at dry air. Where's the one I wanted at? This one right here. So this one's kind of paints the picture. Now, you know, we mentioned last week Invest 94 really got bubbling down in the Western Caribbean, but it never had circulation. See, it didn't have that seed, but it really expanded that convection. This one's starting to escape the dry air, and that's kind of what we'll be watching. You know, if it ingests some of this dry air, then that would definitely help weaken it. But dry air is definitely an enemy of tropical systems. We'll zoom in on both these. Look at any dry air we could look at. Water vapor. So that's not like a lot in there. This is the trail end of a, if you watch Levi, they call these PV streamers, they're like a tropical tut. So they're the tail end of a tropical frontal system. And there's who is that? Somebody on X that's an expert on that. Last couple of years. But I can see his face, but I don't know. So it doesn't really have a bad environment, actually. It's got a lot of moisture in the air, so. Carry this message to me. We'll figure it out. No worries. History in the making. Correct. Yeah, we talked a ton about the one behind Beryl. Courtney, you're going to have to watch us back. Lambs, you're welcome. Jessica, I don't want to say never in the tropics, so I'm not going to say 100% no, but you got to trust the models. You got to trust ensembles. I mean, so I would say no. Now, the second system, Jessica, I would definitely watch a little closer for Florida impacts, which would be coming in about 4 days behind. Deanna's in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Oh, boy. Well, good luck to y'all. Kathleen, at least it's a quick system. We got a new update at 11. And like I said, it made a little bump to the south. Let me go. So you can really... Yeah. I got you, Shelly. Google Radar. Go to Google Radar and go over here to your layers and click on tropical, and then click on active track, and then go down here, and what we're going to see here is that little bump to the south. Not sure it's going to change much, but it could make the track a tick to the south. And remember, those winds are to the north, so depending on where this thing actually ends up going, could be better for you all a little bit, but a little worse down in Grenada and maybe these little islands. So just we have to watch the 11 o'clock, see if they bump it down a little bit. And storms wiggle wobble. When the stronger these storms get, they bounce around. One thing to note, though, everybody, the talking point was weakening. Well, even the official forecast still has it as a Cat 2 100-mile-an-hour hurricane as it approaches the Yucatan on July the 4th. Maybe I'll go down to Senior Frogs, man, and track this thing. That's all I got to say about that. Kelly, yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly, for tuning in on Sunday. That girl works 7 days a week for us. Always has. Appreciate that. It's going to be a busy year. Yeah, I have a really bad feeling. I was never once to hype this water temperature thing. I posted it. I told everybody I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Now I'm a little worried. I don't know. The year of Ian was a third year. La Nina was supposed to be a very active year. We had a normal year, 14 storms in 22, but we had a 60-day stretch of nothing in August and July. Remember that? So this doesn't really mean we're going to have a busy season, but it is kind of weird. So hopefully not. Things pop up quick. Spark Vision, yeah, African wave map, sure, we can look at that. I would worry about flights in the Caribbean for sure. Somebody asked about Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico is a little bit too far out of the cone for this one, but definitely Hispaniola, folks. I would be trying to fly in early or fly in later. Talk about Africa, though. I do have an Africa satellite. Let's make sure it even works. I haven't used it in a while. It's way down here. Yeah, there's a big wave coming off now. All these come from the Indian Ocean. They come across Africa there. Not when we normally don't look at these. I was wrong about that. Telling everybody, we don't look out there this time of year. Here's the other guy we're talking about. We talked a lot about this one. This is now Invest 96. It's up to 70%. I got all the models on the website and on the app, so you can check them out. Levi's site is updating now, so it's all on there. You can see it. And we talked a lot about that, so we'll just leave it right there for that. Big things today I'm looking at are your 11 o'clock advisory coming out soon and your afternoon 12Z runs, especially the Euro. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Appreciate that. I know you've been on our page a lot of years. Bill got some coffee for all this money goes to Shelly for coffee, and guess who gets it? But Chad, did you hook up Shelly with her coffee yet? James Fort, good morning with your mugs. Here's the late great Miss Emily Morey. This is her coffee cup. This is Julie's mom. I kept her Louis cup. All right, you guys connected. That's awesome. Here's my Storm Chaser keys. Look at these things. They're just itching. That's my seatbelt cutter. And a whistle. Hopefully I don't ever use it. But Storm Chaser truck, ready to go. Can't drive to Yucatan, though. Is there a bridge? Did they have a bridge going to Yucatan? Oh, I can go around Mexico. Yeah, I can go there. I'll go that way. Shouldn't take that long. Be that old Charlie Daniels song. I don't even know any cities down there. So let's pull up the Google radar and I'll get a city. There, Tampico. That's what we're doing. So we'll go on my way to Cancun via Tampico. That's the original is a lot better. This long haired country boy, if you know what I'm talking about. Old Charlie Daniels song. Barbados, this is going a little to your south. So thank you for chiming in. I guess the only good news for you all is it's been trending a little south. It's not a very big wind field. Barbados, you're under hurricane warning, yes. So don't want to discredit anything. You already got a squall line getting awfully close to you guys and gals. That the core of the storm could magically stay just to your south. But you are going to get some hefty winds and stuff here. We're starting to see squall lines get awfully close to you, so you're going to want to watch the radars on that. But the big winds are in the eye, obviously, and it's got a small eye field. And again, go back to my page here if you're on there, and go to wind guidance, and you'll see kind of how far out these winds go. And actually, I wonder if Boat US has their Boat US was one of my first links, and they had a really good hurricane map here. I'm getting excited. Oh, the formatting's all messed up. No, this is it. Oh, it's not wide enough though. But here we go. This was the Boat US. This was the original. I'm going to add this one. I like this one. This kind of gives you the idea of the wind field. I wish the islands would show here, but they will soon enough. Do you want me to add that on there or not? I like that one. These were my original boat. I'm going to add these on there. Hell yeah. I haven't used these in years. But they have a couple cool graphics. Wind field and wind band. If I was in a rock and roll band, we'd name ourselves the Wind Band. The Wind Bands. What's up there, Lauren from Palmetto? That was my hometown. Jeffrey, I hope it's armored too. Those winds are far out, Randy. That does sound like a Cheech and Chong's quote. So, Wabble, all right, Mickey Smith, thanks for that little tad north. Tropical systems will drive you bonkers if you try to track each fix. They end up doing this. And I tell you what's cool about Hurricane Hunter data is you can see these fixes on tropical tidbits, and what they'll start doing is you're right, man. They'll start pinpointing, and you'll start to see the zigzag pattern. And basically, what you do is, as a kid, I have not done this in years. Connect the dots, but let's say we get tracks like this. This could be like like this. Well, then you just draw the line, and that's kind of the average in between them. So. Remember playing Connect the Dots? Did y'all have that? How many of y'all play with an Etch-a-Sketch? God, driving with mom and dad on trips, we had Etch-a-Sketch. I had a football game that was where you had to run and hit the buttons. I had what else did I do as a kid? We had that Mustache Man that they sold in the gas stations. That was weird, and that's why I have one now, if you call it that. What else did we all play with kids growing up? Because we didn't have internet. We used our brains. Austin, I would 100% be watching this thing. There's models pointing your direction. So I'm a little worried about this slow down and turn. That looks like it could be coming. The Euro is usually the best when it comes to upper air patterns. And right now, the Euro is saying a weaker system going more west. But we'll see, man, when they get that new hurricane data plugged into their modeling. And of course, you look at the Euro ensembles, and the 12Z Euro ensembles surprisingly had a few that were actually kind of going to the north. So not a lot of them, but this is the European ensembles. And I'd be very curious what the next one's going to be, because the Icon, the GFS, and the CMC are all kind of hinting a little more tug to the north. But the UK is a really good model, and it's going south along with the Euro. So it's low confidence. No need to run out and buy up all the toilet paper yet. Karen, it's probably just, I'll look at it, Karen. If it'd be one simple email, Karen, because if the payment expired then it's gonna. I have to delete it, and then you can start over again. It takes 2 seconds, so I'll try to help you. Crystal, you should be fine. This should be past. This new system should be behind you on July the 9th. So, thank you, Kurt Newton. I appreciate that. Spark Vision, yeah, the GFS is a little off a lot of times, but the idea is the why we're watching this so close. Spark is it's expecting Beryl to turn a little more to the north and watching the one behind it, but the one behind it's just got all kinds of crazy modeling. But we do have some modeling now. So Invest 96 is the one behind Beryl, and currently we only have a couple main runs right now, and this is the initial spaghetti on that one. We do have some ensembles running, and there's your GFS ensemble spread, and the black line is right down the middle. So, but we know that's going to be one to watch. The models have consistently been showing it, maybe even stronger, but now we know that ain't possible. Ain't nothing stronger than Beryl right now. Kelly Cat. Hey, I rode in the back seat of a Chevy. Back then, the back seats were just a big old piece of padded. I remember building forts. I love that. I remember taking a sheet and making my little tent in the back of the car. That was fun. Jennifer, we talked about that for sure. We're going to be watching these water temperatures, and hurricanes bring up cool water, and unfortunately, I don't think satellites run every single day. We do have a NASA page here, daily water temps. Let's see if this is zoomed in or not. I don't know how quick they're updated or not, but we'll see. We will see a cool path from Beryl. We will. 100%. So it's going to be really interesting to watch the system following behind, because I think it was Jose followed Maria, right? Was that 17? Man, I can't believe I remember this crap, man. I couldn't remember nothing in high school and college. But was it 17? So there's Maria, and then Jose. No, maybe it's Jose followed by Maria. Well, I don't know. One of these storms followed the other one. They did. Trust me. This is the only thing I'm worried about, is this thing comes off the Yucatan and has a window of opportunity to try to reorganize. We got to worry about. The icon's showing it. So, oh my God, we might as well stay live for the 11 a.m. update. Why not? Shelly said. Alyssa, when's expected to hit land? What land? There's a lot of land that's going to hit. It's going to start hitting tonight, Sunday night, in the islands. It could hit Jamaica. It could hit Caymans. It could hit the Yucatan. It could hit Mexico. It could hit Texas. This could be a lot of land falling system here. Let's close the windows out. I got so many windows open here. I'm going to do a little 90-second reel here in a second. I'm going to update the website with the new Boat US stuff that I forgot to do. We would love to have you all subscribe and be a supporter of our page right here. We've been having supporters for many years, and we have a lot of great perks. I believe in giving back because you guys support us, and we finally have a new chat area, which I'm looking at right now. We have almost 800 people in there that are, we call them Cat 1s or Cat 5s, and everybody gets perks and stuff mailed, but everybody has access to our new chat, which is independent of all social. So $4.99 a month. Surely you can afford that. You tip the pizza guy $10 and you never see him again, and the pizza's cold and it's dumped off at the wrong house. So for $4.99 a month, you get 30 days of me several times a day. Maybe I should pay you to not have to deal with that. All right, 11 o'clock's coming out. We'll look at the discussion will come out first, so we'll leave it right here. Usually they'll bring out the discussion first, and then they'll put the graphics out. So we'll wait on that. They do send out the data before their graphics, so they'll start pumping out the data soon. Greg, we're going to wait and ride this out together, man. Hey, your boy... oh, you all had that wagon? I can't remember. I just drew a blank, Greg. I texted him. So stupid. This is the time of the hours my brain gets fried. I text my people. My goodness. Matt Devitt. Man, when did we text? We texted yesterday. What the hell is it? I don't even know. I don't even know what I was going to talk about. I don't even know what. All right, let's look at some questions. St. Louis, South Louisiana, you're welcome, Amy. We have two Amy's. Oh, my mom and dad are calling. Uh-oh, let's see what they want. Let me see real quick. Hopefully everything's okay. Hello? Yeah, hey. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I'm still doing my live. I was gonna pop over maybe get some coffee, so we'll chit chat here in a little bit. I'm doing my little show right now. No, we came home last night. Yeah, so I'm doing a live video right now. Bye. Austin, what's up, buddy? Spark Vision, look at you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Let's see, Johnny, satellite and model runs. Okay, that's a good, right here. It's really hard to find. It's this. I go to this with Google Radar. So it's a sandwich between all my radar links, but Google Radar, and it's got a layers page, and you got to go down here in the bottom and click tropical and click active model track, and then you can zoom out and zoom in and look at the current points and data points and that kind of stuff. So you can do it right there. And these, like I said, these are Invest 96 spaghetti models. They're starting to get mingled in. But gives you an idea, right? Timestamps. Austin, man, let's take a trip to Yucatan. We're gonna storm chase at Senior Frogs on July 4th. Sounds like a party. Ooh, 11 o'clock just came out. All right. Rapidly intensifying. Pressure has fallen significantly to 964. Man. Wind field is now larger. Had to get large. Just looking at this thing, you knew it was larger than that little orange ball. Clear eye. Moving swiftly, not Taylor Swift, swiftly at 18 knots. It's been traveling a little to the south. The NHC track forecast has been nudged to the south. Most time we say don't pay attention to the cone or the line, but in this case you do, because those winds are very tightly clustered around the center. So now it's expected to hit 140 miles an hour. Supposed to hit the Yucatan at 110 miles an hour. So they're going to be dealing with almost a major hurricane at the Yucatan. Now, the graphic's going to be interesting. 85 mile an hour over land, we know that. It's going to weaken some. What happens after that? So we're going to put the drum roll effect. But man, look at, so now they're expecting this thing to be 140 with a 110 impact by the Yucatan. All right, so let's look at graphics. Open a new tab. Smash that F5 key. And we don't have it yet. Sometimes I've learned over the years you can go to 3-day cone. Sometimes updates quicker than the 5-day cone. But we don't care about a 3-day cone. We're looking down the road. Down the road I go. So let's do full forecast. We'll give it a second here to try to update. So we got a bad hurricane, man. Hello from Georgia. We were just in Georgia, Tracy. It was hot. I swear it was hotter in Valdosta than it is in Tampa. It was like staggering hot heat. Mike, man, we went over them. I've been live for almost 2 hours, man. Sorry. I can't. Oh, new track is out. Yeah, I know, but I can't get it to refresh. It's probably got posted on... See, the TV stations get them before the National Hurricane Center upgrades, which I hate. National Hurricane Center releases the data points and everybody plots their graphics, and then they're the last to update. Asheville's hot too, but hey, they have snow in Asheville though. You guys are talking about semis. I remember having a CB talking to the trucks. I'd be like, "How about it, southbound? How's it look over your shoulder?" I went in between two trucks one time, Greg, and actually went on the CB and apologized to him. I'm like, I didn't mean to do that, guys. I had to get over. What about that invest? Jacqueline, yeah, we talked a lot about it. You're going to unfortunately have to go back and look because I'm got a lot of stuff I got to do, and then Dad's waiting for coffee, so I can't let Dad down. So we'll wait till the new graphic comes out. And I'll tell you what's tricky too. The reason I don't post local Mets graphics is this. I've seen National Hurricane Center have to update sometimes. So I'd much rather just post the Hurricane Center stuff because if there was a change or something, at least I stuck to the official forecast. Greg, strong storms typically pull north, yes, but we got a really strong high pressure to the north. And that just steers it. It accelerates with the winds. You can see those high pressure winds very well. Steering this thing. A lot of winds in the upper levels that are just helping this thing move off to the west. Had a pretty good clip here. These are typically strong this time of year, but they also typically, you can see this little tut line right here too, this little tropical trough. Okay, come on, man. I can't tell you over the years how many times I F5 something. This is all I'm curious about. It says over land, so really they're not gonna be out here, but we're starting to see a little tick to the north, and this is what I'm curious about. So they're, unfortunately for the Yucatan, you're on a possible major hurricane landfall July 4th. So that's big news for people traveling. I know there's probably a lot of cruise lines down that way. Oh, there's 11 o'clock. No, they didn't do much. They didn't change much. Center line's there, but the other one's not. Oh, this is good though. We can bounce up. Yeah, whatever. You can start to see a little bend to the north there, but not much. See that? There's a little bend. It did go a little farther south though, but they're still expecting it. I don't mean to have the center line up, but it's the only one that's updated right now. That's the 11 o'clock. So I guess 5 o'clock we'll start to see a little bend down here. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. By tomorrow we're going to start to see this thing slow down a little bit. Stronger system, we'll see what it does. But the Euro is the most important thing today. I'm going to be watching around 2 o'clock. Winds are currently 120. So they've increased a little bit. All right. That's about it for me. Listen, we'll be live. I'll be doing a little quickie now, a little reel, and I'll probably do one tonight. We'll 100% be live tomorrow, 100% be live Tuesday, maybe tomorrow evening for a quickie. We'll see Tuesday, and then we'll just play it by ear down the rest of the week. For sure, we'll be live. We just have to figure things out. It's July 4th. We had plans, but I don't know if I'm going to go through with them or not because we got a lot cooking. If the system behind Beryl looks interesting, I don't know. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, I got networks calling me now that want me to go on the news 3 nights this week. So I had to be sober. All right, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hope some of this information was good for you. I know it's long, but we do what we do here, and appreciate that all the supporters, all the great sponsors of MWP. One of them's watching with us now, Mr. Greg from Furman, and we'll. I don't know, Mark. Probably 7 p.m. top of the hour. That's the plan, anyways. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to do a reel and then drink coffee. All right. Cheers.